Hey, I'm live. Look at that. And it's bright, it's dark. Anyone there? Anyone there? I don't do this very often. I'm told I should probably, schedule it, tell people when I'm doing this. I don't know when I'm going to do this. I don't know when or why. I have no rhyme or reason when I go live. So it probably would get more views. More people would maybe comment. But you can always comment later, if you don't catch it live. If you catch it live too, I like it that I'm spontaneous because you don't know when I'm going to do it. And I don't know who's going to be on. So it's kind of fun. Is anyone on? Anyone? Anyone? Hold on, I'll type here. Hello. Oh, spell that better. So I want to talk a little bit about indie filmmaking, distribution, and promotion, which promotion is probably the most important thing when it comes to filmmaking, well, indie filmmaking. And, if your movie is, below $100,000, chances are you're going to be doing all the promo, unless you make something that is just completely insane, that no one has seen before, and maybe does incredible at festivals, and someone just buys it and then they do all the promo, and which is fine too. That's what we all want, right? I don't think there's any indie filmmaker that's like, I can't wait to get to the marketing. This is great. That being said, marketing is very important. You should know it, and you should. The sooner you learn it, the better. It's why people watch your movie. Oh wow, it just went dark. Do you see that? The color changed. Kind of looks better. My skin looks better. Doesn't look like I've been drinking wine for 10 days straight. That's a different story. Yeah, I think knowing how to market your film earlier on, the better. Also know that the marketing of your film could change a week before, a month before, a year before you actually put out in the world. It's just like a script too. Your script can change throughout. Script usually changes once you get closer to making your indie film, because you realize you can't afford that stunt or that visual effect. A lot of indie filmmakers don't do that kind of stuff, which is also probably smart. If you can keep your budget low, $5,000, and it's just talking heads, but also they call it talking heads, but you have to have some kind of story. You have to have a reason why people are going to watch your movie. Also, I'm still talking to myself. Doesn't matter. Maybe someone else will watch this, get a kick out of it, and maybe I can help, or maybe not. Maybe you just can learn things. Sometimes you can learn things on what not to do, which is fine. Not that I felt like our team did anything bad. When you make a movie, sometimes you got to pull the trigger. You can't wait around forever. You can't wait around, waiting for someone to green light you all the time, waiting for the money to come in. That being said, you should never make a film out of desperation. You should never make a movie because, well, if I don't make this, I know I'll never make it. I don't know if that's a good reason to make a movie. I think you should make it because you want to see that script that you worked on come to life. I think that's the main reason you should make it. If you want to have a career, you should probably think of who your audience is for. Can you make your money back. You know, and if you're going to make it on your own, can you make your money back and then help you get the next project? Maybe get investors on the next one. And if investors make your movie, you know, have a plan to make that money back. There's a good chance they're not going to make their money back. Most investors that will invest in a movie already know that. If they don't, I mean, it's risky. It's a big risk to make a movie. Here's one reason why people do it. Hang on. You're going to see me in my shorts. Well, this is awkward. Never mind that. Right here. It says a shrink wrap on it and everything. So this is, even though people don't buy DVDs anymore, physical copies aren't, you know, the thing these days. It's streaming. It's all digital. But I can't imagine there's not one filmmaker that didn't make a movie to eventually have their own movie on DVD with, you know, a barcode. I think that is the reason I wanted to make a movie. I always wanted to have, you know, a movie that I worked on, you know, on my DVD shelf, even though I don't have a DVD shelf anymore. I do have like a folder of like DVDs, but yeah, I haven't bought a DVD in years. But yet, that's the reason I made it, right? At least for me. And I enjoy being creative and storytelling and you know, making people laugh. You know, that's why you do it. But to make a career out of it, you have to have some kind of business sense. You know, I mean, most people could go out and make a movie. Can they make a second movie? Can they make a third movie? Can they make a fourth, fifth? Blah, 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 blah. You know, I personally want to make another movie. And, you know, hopefully, you know, things that I've learned over the years will help me get the next movie and the next. And that's all you want, really, you know. And most indie filmmakers, they don't, you know, they're not gonna, they're gonna get by, and that's fine too. Wow, not one person came on. Well, this is embarrassing. Maybe I should tell people I'm on. I'll go to Facebook. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I don't know, for some reason today I'm like, I want to talk about indie filmmaking. I don't really usually talk about it, like what the process is, how to get started. You know, there's tons of ways to get started. The good thing is, if you are thinking about making an indie filmmaker, the equipment cost has dropped considerably. Just with your cameras, equipment. I mean, you can rent a lot of stuff on the cheap now, and you can purchase a lot of things that are just really, really affordable for indie filmmakers. And so that's one way to get started, is just start small and then kind of work your way up. And I think it all depends on what movie you're making. I think if you've never made an independent film, you might want to just start making shorts and kind of slowly work your way up. That's what I did. You know, there's shorts that no one will ever see that I worked on, that I made. Especially my first one. Oh my God, that was awful. but those are all movies that you make, and you learn from the process. You also are going to learn that you can't do everything, and so you're going to eventually need to start working with people. You know, uh, which is great. I think collaboration is awesome. There's been several times where I thought something would be great, and then we tried it and it didn't work out, but someone was there to be like, hey, what if we tried it this way? And it's a great idea. Um, so I think building your team is second most important. And then working with people you trust, because that's without that, you know, it's you're gonna have a really rough time making your movie. Um, promotion. Promotion. You're gonna get so much information on this. I think you should personally start promoting while you're writing the script. Maybe not like publicly, but jotting your marketing plan down. Maybe you can't afford to do a poster. Maybe you don't have all the actors to put the poster together, but you can draw a rough sketch. You can think of what the poster will look like. Put that in a Google Doc or whatever, something simple. You can work on your pitch packet, which is very important, I think. The more I've been thinking about stuff, I think the simpler things are, especially when it comes to your pitch. If you're going to go to investors, if you can keep your pitch, simple and quick, I think that's the way to go. If it's too big, like you got these trailers of the movie, the thing, and you take like a lot. Some people take, I call them spec trailers, and they take video from other movies and they put it into one thing, so to show you, have an idea of what your movie will look like, which is fine. But I think you can do the same with a very, cool pitch packet with visuals, just a picture of, a movie, of a character that would resemble your movie, and then just quick detail of, what your movie is about. Get your investors excited about it. The hardest thing for me, and then this is probably a me problem, is that I can't always show my excitement. I'm always an undersell guy. I like to undersell it and overperform. Especially when I talk about my movie to people, I always undersell it, and then they watch it and they're like, "Oh, this is really good." I've never been good at, it's not that I'm not excited about the project, I am, but to convey that excitement to somebody, to get them on board, to give me money. It's probably why I haven't done the business side of it a lot. So, which eventually I'm going to probably go down that territory. So those are things I'm working on, trying to be better at, trying to be confident in the, people call it a product. I mean, it is in a way, but it's also your movie. But be confident about your movie. And if you're not excited about your movie, no one else is going to be excited about it. And they're definitely not going to give you money to make your movie. So I think that's important. I mean, and also get ready to promote your movie until the end of time. Maybe not like hours on end every day, but you're going to be promoting it somewhat. Hell, I'm promoting House Harker right now, and this is the first time I talked about it. I mean, every time I'm connecting with somebody on social media, I'm maybe not talking about House Harker, but they're getting to know me, and eventually they're going to get to know the fact that I made a movie. And then some days it's just straight out promotion, especially like Halloween time. We like to promote House Harker, and so you're always promoting. I think supporting other filmmakers too. I don't know why other filmmakers don't support other filmmakers. Um, there are times where people have sent me their stuff and I've watched it. I don't I don't want to I don't want to trash anybody's work, but I also don't want to support something maybe that I'm not excited about, And so that can be tricky too. But there's a lot of movies that I have talked about and spread the word about because I thought they're really, really good movies. And I will, and if there's any independent movie that is sent to me and I like it, I'll definitely talk about it. You know, there's some movies that I wasn't crazy about, but I'm like, okay, there's definitely an audience for this. So I'll talk about it. Because not everyone, even when I maybe don't love a movie, I can see like someone else might love this as well, or whatever. So that's marketing. From what I've learned, you're always marketing. You're always selling yourself in a way, which people have, I'm sure you've heard that. Sell yourself. But yeah, I think that comes down to being excited about your project. I am working on another one. I wish it was with the Good Cops team, and it's we're not. I want to clear this up right now. We're not working on a project because we don't want to. We would love to. We would love to work with each other again. It's just we all live in different locations, and we've all kind of started different things. I started a family, for crying out loud. I'm married, have three beautiful kids, a beautiful wife as well. And yeah, we're building stuff here, and then but I can't not want to make a movie. Does that make sense? and I think with House Harker, we've talked about making a sequel, but in order to do that, we would need a budget that is probably just not going to happen. To be honest with you. To be honest with no one that's listening. And that's because we're not a household name, and we probably wouldn't be able to bring on a household name. So those are all different factors. Investors want it, even though they know it's a risky business. They want the risk not to be completely, they don't want to just throw their money away. But I think to make House Harker 2 right, especially with werewolves, we would need a very large budget in order to make the werewolves look scary or funny, or however we decide to do it. To look realistic, we would have to have a decent budget in order to do that. Not that we probably would even pay ourselves that much, but when you're talking about heavy effects, it can get expensive very, very quickly. We've over the years we have film equipment, and so a lot of that cost would cut in half. But there's insurance and there's contracts and blah blah blah. It adds up quickly, especially if it becomes SAG. That's a whole ball game. So it probably wouldn't be a micro budget film like the first movie that we did. That would be considered a micro budget film. And we're still promoting it. We're still trying to make money, which is fine. That's going to get into my next thing that I'm going to be talking about. Drink some water. Kind of actually all over the place today. So that's marketing. Know what kind of movie you're selling, know your audience, have a plan, know that plan can go upside down, and there's so many different ways to market these days, and it's going to change. By the time you have your movie, if you make your movie today and it's done, let's say a year and a half, chances are the way to market your film is going to be completely different than it is now. And know that as well. Try to keep updated with what's changing. And that is going into distribution. It has changed so much in the last 5 years. There's so many different ways to distribute your movie. There's the traditional way. People are self-distribution. Can you say it? Self-distribution as well, which that's scary. that's a lot of work. I think also a lot of indie filmmakers don't think how much work to actually just make the movie and then to go and do self-distribution yourself. That's challenging. Not that it can't be done, but it's a lot of work. A lot of work. I mean, to finish your film, there's going to be a lot of late nights, especially if you have to, for what we had to do a Kickstarter because we ran out of money for post. So we had to raise more money. And that was almost a full-time job. And I wasn't even on the forefront of that, but I did a lot of work on it. But there were so many other people that were working on it way much harder than I was. So that's right there. That's a lot of work. And we didn't even do self-distribution. We had a Shoreline Entertainment was our sales company, and then they would sold it to different territories overseas, and then also U.S. distribution. And I believe they just re-released it going through their distribution company. They also do that as well. So that's what we did. I wonder if we would do the same now, because so many things have changed. You can't go. It is still hard to go through. Like, let's say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a distribution company like Lionsgate. Like that would be hard for me to go to Lionsgate and say, will you take a look at my movie and think about doing the distribution rights for everything. They're probably like, who are you? They don't really like to go through the filmmaker. They want to work with sales companies. But it is harder for the indie filmmaker to make money. Not that you can't make money doing it that way, but it is much harder. So I just found out about Film Hub. I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to tell you, hey, go do Film Hub, but look into it. It seems interesting. I'm looking into it more and more. There is a distribution company that will work with indie filmmakers called Indie Rights, and they've done a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff actually. I've seen a few of their movies. So the next project that I do, I might look into them. Not that they'll take me, but it's definitely worth looking into and submitting. Because I don't know if I would want to do the self. I mean, just so like especially even on Amazon now, me going through them, it would take maybe a few months to even get on there. Instead of going through like a company that has a relationship with Amazon already. Here's another thing. You're going to do a lot of research, and a lot of that research is going to fuck with your head, and you're going to have to get to a point where you have to throw that out and just make the best movie that you can make. Know that you have to market it. Know that you have to have a plan. Know that you have to have like a pitch packet of some sort to get investors if that's the way you want to go. Or if you want to use your own money, that's cool too. I've had it in my mind that never use your own money. But you know what? If you use your money, you're betting on yourself. You know, and I think that's okay. You know, if you have it, as long as you're not going to go into debt, you know, your kids aren't going to starve. I think it's fine to use your own money. It's probably better. Um, you're because you're not going to have to answer to anybody. Anyone that you go into business with, they're going to be a collaborator right away. You're any kind of investor. That doesn't mean it's going to be a bad thing. It doesn't mean it could be actually be a good thing. They might have better ideas than you, but they might not. So that could get awkward too. All right. This is me blabbing. I'm gonna end the stream. I don't want to talk forever. I just watched a movie called Ready or Not. Fuck, that was good. Anybody see that movie? Ready or Not? Kind of reminded me of that other movie, You're Next, which would be a great double feature. Another movie that I watched recently was The Lost Boys, The Thirst, starring Corey Feldman. I fucking love that movie. I did not think, I actually thought I saw it, but I think I might have saw the Tribe and I remember not liking it. But I never saw Lost Boys, The Thirst. I just watched it recently. And I thought it was a lot of fun. And it looked great. There was some really good stuff in it. So I highly recommend checking out Lost Boys, The Thirst. And I think it would be a great double feature for I Had a Bloody Good Time in House Harker. I think that would be a great. There was actually some odd similarities to House Harker and Lost Boys, The Thirst. If you watch it, or if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't know if any of this information has helped anybody, but anybody that has watched it, thanks for checking this out. Once in a while, I'm just going to get on here. I might talk about filmmaking. I might talk about movies because at the end of the day, I just love movies. I always have, you know. I know I've seen other movies before this movie, but E.T. was the very first movie that I remember seeing, and that was the movie that I wasn't like, oh, I need to make movies, but it was definitely the first movie where I was like, what is this? What's your movie? What's the movie that made you go, huh? I didn't know movies could do this to me, you know? Oh, E.T. was mine. All right, adios. Also, this year has been for everybody, but I hope everyone's being safe out there and doing what you can to take care of your family. Have a great Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you before then, Merry Christmas. And